Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I know, I know. Yeah, I know, man, I know. Thank you so much, man. I really yeah, no, definitely, man. 100%. There's a lot more than me. A lot more than me. Oh, 100%. They can't, the silencing's went on for 20, 15, 20 years, and now we see what's happened with the silencing, where we've got with the silencing in England. So, we can't let that happen here now. Yeah, oh yeah, it's a tender box right now. Oh yeah, 100%. You can tell the feelings in the streets. People are talking. Yeah, 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 yeah. We see what they've done about now. Yeah, 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 yeah. It is like it is. But I'm going to be rolling late, boy. So I don't want to catch too much of the mic. You want an interview? Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here, outside the Marina Court Hotel once again on Friday, 7 p.m. Every Friday for the last 2.5 years. Richard Inman and these guys have been standing here, rain, sleet, and snow. Rain, sleet, and snow. So I am tired. What's it? How close am I, Caitlin? Does it look all right? Yeah. I am really tired and been running about the day like a madman. Honest to God, we got an address for a protest, Palestinians, and part of the address was wrong, and we were at the wrong part of Belfast, and then we need to go to another part of Belfast, and we parked the car up in Sandy Road, Loyal Sandy Road, so it was safe, and then we foot patrolled it in because we don't like taking our cars too close to any demos, obviously, you know what I mean. So yeah, we were on foot patrol for a wee while, going around circles, and then we had to go back to the car and move the car from our location, and then when we actually found the place, they decided not to turn up, you know what I mean. And I think it's because they got egged last week. They got egged by the locals, and CJ turned up, CJ audits, and I think they probably went, fuck this, you know what I mean? I'm not doing that again. So yeah, if they're going to come out and protest, we're going to be there to record them, So it is what it is, guys. But yeah, this is a Marina Court Hotel. It's been housing immigrants in Northern Ireland for a long time. 2.5 years ago, these guys started doing this protest. One of the first protests in the whole of Britain was outside this hotel, guys. Believe it or not, you know what I mean. You find me a protest outside a hotel going back 2.5 years. It's right here, guys, right here. So yeah, fair play to him. That should go down in the history books. As far as I'm concerned, it's a battle been going on for a long time, trying to prevent undocumented men coming into our areas. But now the problem we have is the hotels will be shut. The government are cracking under pressure, and the hotels will be shut down. What does that mean for us? That means even less housing. I've heard that they're trying to find 20,000 houses for 5,000 refugees or immigrants or illegals, whatever you want to call them. That's England. What's going on here is frightening in Northern Ireland, frightening. And I'm always going to make this point very clearly. These men that come into our country have came here illegally. They came here under a treacherous government. They should never have been allowed to come in here, and they will be getting removed one day. One day, we will get a government in this country will remove these illegal refugees or whatever you want to call them. They broke into our country. That give up threw their passports away, no documentations, and our traitors government has given them new IDs, new date of births, new names, and a passport. Nah, no, no, no. Labour Party, no way. Tories, no way. You do not represent the people of Northern Ireland. You don't even represent the people of England or Scotland or Wales. So under that, then you've got no right to do what you've done in the other countries. You've done it under leadership. We will change the leadership.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Foxy lad. Hey, Gary. I was the OG Foxy lad. Hello, RS. Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. Just getting some information. And so one of the information I just received there is one of the other auditors. Just going to tell you who it is. CJ Audits has been down here for the last hour, and he's a new face in town. So he is. He's a new face in town. So he got to the doors, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's not open to the public." But how does he was standing there? One of the migrants came walking in. That's what I need to find out. Give me 2 seconds to find out this. Yeah. So basically, what my problem is the SA badges, the security badges that these guys are getting. You know what I mean? And it's not just about the how they're able to drive Ubers and all that, and all the rest. It just eats. What worries me is that they're coming over here and they're all getting security jobs. You anywhere you go, anywhere in Britain, anywhere in Ireland, and anywhere in Northern Ireland. Go to any McDonald's, go to any Boots, go to anywhere in the city centre, you will find Muslim, mostly majority Muslim security guards. Now, I don't know what the majority of them men have come in here illegally, or whether they came in here on visa and refused to go back, whichever way, boat men or visa men. I don't know which are which and how many of what there is, right? Don't have them stats. But what I do know is that they are majority Muslim men. And I do believe they're getting put in this, they're given security badges when they shouldn't be getting given security badges, because these are undocumented men, some of these men that have probably come over on fake IDs or anything. These are some of the most dangerous men around the world that could be amongst these men getting security badges. We've got one in there. So we do. We've got a man in there, just like I'm explaining to you. Okay? And it worries me. It worries me that they're getting put into positions to learn English, to learn how to communicate with the public, how to, be around public and that. So then eventually they can go into the police, because we know the police are leaving in their droves. So what other option does the government have? Are they going to start employing ex-bank robbers? Do you think they're going to put my record aside and go, you know what, we're just going to put a wee by ball and anybody will come around, come on, you, because we need strong men. All the men in our areas, and Catholic and Protestant, they're not going to do that. Daniel, now you know what they're going to do. We're going to be policed by these men. There's no two ways about it. That is coming. We're seeing it happening in Ireland. We've seen an Afghanistan man, you know, and then we've seen pictures of the Afghani man. We've seen an Afghani man standing with a Garda uniform, right? The real, no misinformation, real. He joined the Garda, right? We've seen the videos of them going into mosques and asking the Muslims to consider joining the police. We've seen the Nigerian man or Kenya man in England that couldn't hardly speak a word of English, trying to um, tell somebody the reason why they were being searched. Ridiculous. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. Come this way. Don't want to get knocked down. Just check out. It's all right. All right, so how you doing? Yeah, so it worries me. It worries me, guys. And I'm sure it worries all yous. You know, um, the big news at the minute right now is Belfast is receiving the second most into the housing system, the housing association. Our houses are being given to people coming into this country illegally or whatever. You know, they want England. They're looking for 2,000 houses for 5,000 people. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? That does not make any sense. But um, we're not a big place. You know, we are not a big country. We've only got 6 counties. We can be overwhelmed and replaced very quickly. Not only by replacement with birth, deaths, and stuff. The way we use no the score there, but there's more people dying right now than there's being born. That's not good. That is not good. We've got the two-cap child system. That is not good. There's lots of reasons why we're not having children. One of the biggest reasons is we can't afford it. We're living in the highest price time in society ever. Everything's going up a fortune. We're paying the most for gas and electricity. We're the second in the world for paying gas and electricity, and that's why we're not having children. And that's why they're saying they need to bring these people in because there's not enough for us. Well, we can make enough for us if we give us enough money, give us a wee bit of leeway. Let us be able to afford to have children. Pay our mothers who need to stay behind to look after our children more money, or fathers, whatever. We don't need two parents working, so we don't. It's never been like that. Should never be like that, and that's the problem. So there's the problems. There's the solutions. That's how we fix it. We don't need to bring foreigners in from other countries illegally, criminals, terrorists, and all the rest of it, because we don't have enough children to cover ourselves in the future, to pay the taxes that the government need to keep this country running. This is what the problem is. And as far as doing the jobs that we don't want, pay us the jobs that we don't want. If you paid us enough money to clean toilets, paid us enough money to care for people, you wouldn't have to bring cheaper labour in from other countries. And doctors and engineers. I love this one. Doctors and engineers. So you're taking the best out of the most poorest countries in the world to come here. Where's our doctors and engineers? Our doctors and engineers are going to other countries like Dubai, yeah, Australia, America, because that's where the big bucks is. So we're not paying our doctors and engineers enough money. So what's the solution? Bring in foreigners again. So you see, the problem is always based with the government. It's not, the problem isn't us. The problem is based with the government. We know how to fix things. We, the people, know how to fix things. But the problem is, we don't go through private school. We're not millionaires, because that's the only people that's running this country right now is private school boys and millionaires, and it hasn't worked for 100 years. So it's time to step aside and let the working class men and women take over control of this country and show the population what needs done, because it takes real men and women to do what needs done in this country. Rant over. So where's TJ? Want to get a wee drink, guys? Take it back and let them see the crowd. Just keep an eye on the camera in case anybody comes up and tries to grab it. And speak to them.
It's Caitlin. Remember to hit that like button, everyone. Share, subscribe. Hey, mom. You, Foxy lad, what's happening? Thank you. The crowd is getting way bigger, Marky. You're right. Bigger every time. You're right, mom. Tell him. Look at the comments. Hey, Davey. Hey, wee bit bonkers. Thank you, Gary. Do you think so? Hey, Kirsty. Hi, Lil Miz. Hello. Sorry if I get your names wrong. I'm not Fred's replacement at all. Fred's busy tonight. I was the OG. See if none of you remember me. Yes, Sarah is my mum. Hi, Toby.
Right. Richard's
Hey, Taylor.
going to do a speech. Right, Glenn. Right, mate, me bar. What are you doing? You want to do it?
You alright? Well,
Right, Caitlin, let's go.
I on? Look at that.
Right, Jimbo, so you want? No, I wasn't going to make it, and I just thought, you know what, I have to.
Thank you, Stephen.
So that's the main road in Bangor blocked, guys. This is a very rich part of Northern Ireland, so it is, guys. And this is a very important road for the rich. If you turn it around, Caitlin, let me see the boats. You get to zoom into them boats, sir. That's the yachts. Millions of pounds worth of yachts, and that's just some of them. That's just a small part of them. There's another big load of them down there in the water. I think they're out of water, them ones. Yeah, they're out of water. There's another load of them, maybe 300 of them down there. Uh, yeah, all down the pier. It's totally changed since I was a kid, you know what I mean? A lot of money's came to Bangor, you know, and at the end of the day, I can't see this going on for long. I can't see this hotel holding migrants for much longer, and that's the truth. You know what I mean? That's what I think. You know, I don't think this is worth it. I don't think that's worth it. I think everybody knows that this is a mistake. It shouldn't be happening, and they need to go. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Um, you know, it's not far right in this. It's like I say, this is Northern Ireland. We've only got 6 counties. I'm going to take you into some areas shortly and show you how the demographic has changed. You're in for a shock. I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand in Salisbury Square and I'm going to go for a wee walk with you. And I'm going to show you how much my wee areas have changed. Okay, and it's quite shocking. It's quite shocking. So it is. And we're not ready for it. You know, we are not ready for this. We do not want this. We do not want these people coming to our country and getting the right to vote against us, because that's what they'll do. They'll vote against us. Anybody in the right, anybody that loves the future of what they've had and what they want to keep, these people that are here will vote against us, and they will take that off us if we're not careful. You know, you've seen England. You can see what's happening in Parliament. You can see how many people are in the Home Office who don't really represent this country. They're holding dual citizenship. You should never hold a dual citizenship in the government position or a Home Office position. You know, who in the right mind thinks that's acceptable in any country? That people in the Home Office is there to protect us from dangers, from terrorism, from illegal entries. And now we find there's foreigners in there with dual citizenship giving out visas like it's confetti. Yeah, so I'm not. I've already spoke about Nolan, right? I've said I'm not going to go on about it and all that and put him out there. But Nolan is a big part of Northern Ireland. There's no two ways about it. And I can't take it away from the man, And this isn't any, it's never anything personal. I've never got anything personal. I'm too kind of a person to be really hateful. I've got an axe to grind. I've got issues with him because of personal stuff that I know that's happened to very close friends of me involving Nolan. You know what I mean? But that's that and that. One day maybe if I get a chance, I'll speak to him about it. But the thing is like he had Abdul on the other day, right? And the day he had Ahmed, right? So he had Hamid on, and the young Bangor young team. So he had Hamid on the day, and I don't know what he was thinking about. But all we got from Hamid was this is what we got from Hamid, right? An immigrant. We got from his own mouth that he came here for the housing, he came here for the NHS, and he left his wife and kids behind, and he's happy as Laurie. He's happy as Laurie. What kind of man leaves their wife and kids behind? Tell me that. What kind of man does that? Um, you know, and has a caller phoned in, a guy called James pointed out, you travelled through 3 or 4 different countries. He's like, yeah, I was in here, I was in there, I was in Ireland, I was in the mainland, and I settled in Northern Ireland. I'm going to be moving to Belfast. Thanks for that. So there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Hamads. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Abduls. These are the men that, um, sorry guys, Stephen Nolan brought on the show for the argument for the left that refugees are welcome. This is who he's brought on, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm quite sure he understands now the feeling of the street and the feeling of the people on the street, because he can read the comments, he can listen to every single caller. Every single caller that phones in is not happy about mass immigration. They're not happy about people coming in this country and settling. We don't want it, because we know what comes. We know that they settle and then they have children, and then these children have children, and the next thing we're outnumbered because there's more people dying and having babies. It's not. I mean, these are facts, guys. This is why these guys are here. These guys have got kids. These guys, some of these older guys don't know how long they're going to be here. You know, and that's the answer of the media. Instead of addressing the issues and coming and speaking to the guys in the street and the women on the street who have had enough of what's going on, going into Sandy Row, going into the village, going into Woodfield, you know, and it's no good going in there with all the police. Nobody will talk to you surrounded by police. And this is a problem with the left and the left media and the BBC and all this mainstream media. The people have lost complete trust. So they can't even do their jobs anymore. So why does anybody pay any attention? He sits behind that desk talking the biggest load of nonsense about things he's got no clue about. Just what he's being told to say from the people at the top. Mass immigration is good. Poor refugees. Fleeing war-torn countries. Yeah. Yemen. His brother, this guy, Hamad, his brother was in the army. And the guy says, why didn't you join the army? Why didn't you join the police? Why didn't you fight for your country? Every man should fight for their country, fight for their women, fight for their children, fight for the future of their country. Whether it kills you, whether it puts you in jail, every man should do that. Every man in Northern Ireland does that, Catholic and Protestant. In the last 50, 60 years, they all fought, they all died, they all went to prison, because they loved their country. They never run away, you know. And they certainly wouldn't run away and leave their wife and kids in Ardoyne or the Divis or the Shankill or the Falls, the Woodfield, the Village, the Sandy Row, Londonderry, Carrickfergus, Ballymena. You're not leaving your kids and travelling thousands of miles and going through all different countries. And even admitted he paid a smuggler to get here. This is a guy that was on the Stephen Nolan show, admitting that he's paid a smuggler to get here. He's here for benefits. He's here for NHS, and he never thought to bring his wife and kids with him. Motherfucker, guys. Fight needs men with no women. When you go to war, you leave the women behind. That's what they're doing. They're leaving their women behind. They're leaving their women and kids behind. They're coming here en masse, fighting needs men, hundreds of thousands. And a figure we don't even know, because the government are keeping it from us. They're hiding it from us. They won't tell us how many foreigners are committing crimes. They won't tell us nothing. Everything's got to be worked out by guys that have a wee bit of sense and know what they're doing, and going through court proceedings and hundreds and thousands of court proceedings and picking out all the names of foreigners and putting it all, categorizing it and trying to work out which each name is, which territory is it, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Nigeria, Kenya, you know what I mean? Congo. These are some places around the world that are extreme violence. These men know extreme violence. We're talking like nothing that we're used to in Northern Ireland. There has been extreme violence. There has been a couple of cases of really extreme violence. Yes, I know, but nothing on this level, guys. You know what I mean? This is not a ball game. You know what I mean? This is another ball game. But yes, the police have shown them the police blocking the road off there, and the police have blocked the road off there. So there's another way around. It's just an inconvenience. You know what I mean? There's no way around. So thanks for coming on live. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the share button. Freddie's son is 30 today, so happy birthday. Freddie is at a birthday party, so he is. And he will be back. Well, he may be back tomorrow. In fact, he won't be back tomorrow. I know Freddie. He'll have a fair few tonight, so he will. Him and Bobby. And yeah, fair play to him. Hope they enjoy themselves. And yeah, maybe see him Sunday. Maybe get him on a live Sunday. I won't be going live tonight. Won't be going live tonight, guys, because I'm just a bit tired. That's all. I'm gonna go home and get an early night tonight. and get ready for the chaos tomorrow. Like I say, we will be in Belfast tomorrow. We will be reporting on what we see in Belfast tomorrow. So probably be rolling from about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I say be going live, and we'll see what happens. The live might go down. Depending, there might be a break. I might go to one thing, and then it may take us 10 minutes to get the other thing. We'll see how long it takes, where we are in the city, and how far it's going to take us to get from one end of the city to the other. We should manage it okay with the live running, but just to give you a heads up, I may have to come down and then go back up again. Yeah. Some section anyway. Peter's don't let Paulus laughing at me, showing off my silky skills, my silky water bottle skills. So um, yeah, busy wee place tonight. So it is, Bangor. We got a load of people queuing up here for something. Lift it up, so. Yeah, that's the old court building. I was in there when I was younger. Tell you some stories about that place. You know what I mean? That wasn't that bad. Bangor Police Station was bad back in the day. Like they were brutal. They were brutal. They used to beat the life out of you, like so they did. Aye. But these were the days when you used to get a clip around the ear when you're out rather than get lifted. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was quite good. Like quite good. Wait, come on over, mate. Ah, it's no problem, mate. I don't know, mate.
I'm here, big up here.
How you doing, guys?
Anybody doesn't know this, man, Freedom Dad 73
Yep.
on Facebook, TikTok, X,
Yep.
all the good stuff.
Yep. Freedom.FD and Facebook.
YouTube and that there. So Freedom Dad knows a lot more on the situation here than me. This isn't my
Yeah.
but I'm making it my bag.
You've told them the basics. You've told them the basics about it being a hotel. The guys have been here for 2.5 years. So the problem that we've got in Northern Ireland, well, the problem that the government have got in Northern Ireland, that we've been watching very close at what's been happening in England and Ireland for the last 15 years. Not so much Ireland, but mostly England and what's happening in Rotherham and Leicester and Luton and Rochdale and Halifax and all these places where there used to be English towns and now they're no longer English towns, and it's no other way to explain it has a replacement. When you take away the pepper and replace it with the salt, you're replacing this pepper with the salt. So it's not a crazy concept. If you have a city that had full of English people and now it's full of Pakistani people and Indian people, then like Leicester, the diversity capital of Great Britain, then that is a replacement. And we don't want a Leicester or a Rotherham or a Rochdale or a Halifax or any Luton or anything like that in Northern Ireland, because we're a very small country. And for something like that to happen, this is how it would work. As they come in, they're coming in all the time, and then once they get citizenship, they are then able to bring their families. You could be talking up to 10 people in a family, because cousins, brothers, aunties, uncles, the lot come. You know what I mean? And how they prove who's who is beyond me. So that's a worry. So what happens is, in the long run, these people get citizenship, they get passports, and they're allowed to vote. Now, I'm a right-wing commentator, but also a right-wing activist, and I'm proud to be right-wing. I'm proud to be protecting my traditions and my culture, and protecting this country and protecting it for our people. For our children going up for it. I'm 55 and I've got a 9-month-old baby, and when I go, I want to leave the exact same country that I had for my daughter. And I can see with England that that's changing with mass immigration. So with that, in the future, I foresee a Northern Ireland that is overpopulated with foreigners who are then going to vote for a left-wing party like either Sinn Féin, Alliance, or SDLP, and they will vote against us, the right. The people that by then it will be every single person that lives in this country, born and bred, will be a right wing, because they'll see the damage of mass immigration. I'm talking 5-10 years time. You know what I mean? I might not be here. My daughter will be 10 years old. You know what I mean? And it's not worth thinking about. So that's the big problem. It's being used to not only silences, but it's also being used the crushes politically. We'll never rise above this. Like Labour will be relying on the foreign vote. They will be relying on the Muslim vote, the Islam vote. There's no two ways about it. How that's going to turn out for them, I don't know. But this is where it's all. That's it simplified. There's nothing more to it. It's not. It's not. You don't need to work it out too much. There's more people dying than there is having children in this country. Okay, and in our countries, right? In Britain, there's more people dying than there is having children. That's a decline in population. Now we can fix that. There's a solution. The reason why we're not having children, it's very simple. You know, we can't afford it. We cannot afford it. You know, mums and dads are having to get two jobs. We've got a two-cap child system. All we need to do, take away the two-cap child system and start rewarding families for having children. Let them have as many children as they want. Reward the mother for staying at home or the father for staying at home. Make it more easy for them. Make it more financially viable for them. And then, you know, we can go forward, build our population back up the way we should. You know, get rid of the price of living. We're paying the most for gas and we're paying the second most for gas and electricity around the world. Now, this isn't a mistake. This isn't a coincidence. This is being done on purpose. Everything's being done to crush it's to keep us declining. So they can bring more people in and replace us. And let me just finish with this. So they say that they're here to do the jobs we don't want to do. Okay. So simple solution to that as well. Pay us the right money for cleaning toilets. Pay us the right money for looking after people in care homes and stuff like that. If you don't pay the right people to do that job, you can't just bring people in from other countries to do it cheaper. That's not right. The other thing is, you say doctors and engineers are coming. Fair enough, doctors and engineers are coming. Where's our doctors and engineers going? For us to get doctors and engineers, they're going to Dubai, they're going to Qatar, they're going to Australia, they're going to America, they're going to Canada because they're getting more money, because we will not pay our doctors and engineers more money. So the solution from the government is, oh, we'll just take the doctors and engineers from the most poorest countries around the world. So what nick are you leaving that country in when you take the best out of them to come and do the cheap jobs that you won't pay the real doctors and engineers that were here in the first place? So there's a solution to all the problems that are creating the mass immigration and the influx of Islam in our country, because Islam is a big deal as well. You know, they say the way the government, it's not about me having a dislike for Islam, it's me having a dislike of the government, and so I'm a wee bit scared of the way they're behaving. When the government say to you, Islam is a religion of peace, and you have a wee research and you see how the atrocities that's going on today in Syria, how many Druze were annihilated, like massacred, how many Christian in Nigeria, how many Christians in Kenya that are being beheaded, all by Boko Haram, and you've got whatever name they're calling themselves in Syria. We've got Al Qaeda, we've got Gaza, we've got Hamas in Gaza, and they're telling us Islam is the religion of peace. That worries me. That worries me. Then they're saying they're going to bring Islamophobia laws. Now, the Islamophobia laws isn't because they don't want us to hurt their feelings. It's so we can shut up and not tell anybody what really is happening. You got to understand that. That's to keep us all quiet. So if I try to tell you what I'm telling you right now, I'd go to prison. So therefore, nobody can then tell you that, no, actually, Islam isn't the religion of peace. They're committing the most horrific offences and unalivings are in the world right now. And let me tell you something else. In Northern Ireland, we did have terrorists, right? UVF, UDA, IRA, INLA, right? They name a few. And the IRA would phone and warn the government, warn the people that they planted a bomb. That's the difference between our terrorists and our terrorists. They are certainly not the religion of peace.
Brings me to a point here. It brings me to a point here. It brings me to a question that I'm always asked here. Freedom Dad folks here, by the way, if you just joined in. Freedom Dad 73, check him out. Citizen journalist here in Northern Ireland. Brings me to a question I'm always asked. Why is it that only the loyalists and the Protestant communities are out on the street, and the nationalists and Catholics are not out trying to protect their children?
Yeah, the simple fact is that they can't. They're not allowed. As we went forward in the last 40, 50 years, the Sinn Féin / IRA have had a strong grip on Catholic communities. Now, I know this for fact because I get the love from the Falls, the Divis, Ardoyne, Crossmaglen and Armagh, Bogside. These are all really well-known Republican areas in Northern Ireland, and I get a lot of messages from a lot of people on all my platforms. So basically what we have is, in the 80s, the PLO, who are Hamas today, basically, had training camps for IRA men. Used to go over there and train, teach them how to make homemade explosives, incendiary devices, stuff like that. Use fire RPGs, SAM 7s, and they also supplied Semtex and weapons to the IRA in Northern Ireland to fight against the British security services. And there's a romanticism there, that and some ideal in their head that the problem in Gaza and with Israel is the same as Northern Ireland and Britain. You know, that's for professors and scientists and whoever sociologists to look into. It's too far. All I know is Israel and Palestine is fucking miles away. You know what I mean? So the problem is at the minute in these hardcore Republican areas, they're flying Hamas flags. You know, they're painting murals of Gaza. So when you're in an area in these areas, when the troubles, like in my area, it was UVF, UDA, Red Hand Commandos. You know, you grew up with it. You become part of that. You're not going to stand up against them. You know, you're not going to shout out against them. You're not going to make. You're not going to. If you don't agree with it, you're not going to mention that to anybody because it doesn't take a lot of extremists in one area to control that area. And this is what we've got. We've got a very small, hardcore group of what we call dissidents. They're neither IRA, INLA, or IPLO. They're just a mixture of a lot of guys who still want the troubles. I think it's a lot of guys who were born in, you know, they're in that era where the ceasefires were just called and they missed it, or they grew up when the ceasefires were getting called, and they want to go back to the troubles. And this is the only thing they can grasp for that dream to come true is the Gaza thing. And that's the problem we have. That's why it's Protestants coming out because the Catholics aren't allowed to, because of the dissidents running their areas.
Another wee question for you myself here.
Yeah.
I do a lot of film work down Ireland, north,
Yeah,
south,
yeah,
east,
yeah,
and west
yeah.
of this island.
Uh-huh.
So I got a lot of love down in Ireland.
Yeah.
We call it, you know, we're one island.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
coming together, Catholics and
Mhm.
Catholics. So we are. Why is it you think yourself here, Sinn Féin have lost the vote of the Irish people south of the border?
Because
not in
yeah.
Belfast.
No, they are losing it. It's just they won't know that until comes time to vote. People aren't going to come out in West Belfast and say we don't support you no more because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So they're waiting for the vote. We'll find out exactly who's supporting Sinn Féin in Northern Ireland when it comes to vote. And let me tell you something as well. I have been down to Ireland. I have been around the Patriots in Ireland. I've spoken in Ireland demo, and you've had some flack here and there. But the majority of the Irish people accepted me, an ex-loyalist prisoner from Northern Ireland, down in Ireland, with all them tricolours, absolutely amazing. Something I never thought I'd see. But the thing is, I'm down there with thousands upon thousands. I'm talking over 50,000 Irishmen with tricolours shouting Sinn Féin out, Sinn Féin out, Sinn Féin traitors.
I was there myself. I was there.
Yeah.
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 It was actually nice to see the Irish people on the streets.
Yeah.
Supporting, you know.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Catholics.
Yeah. No, this is this. Yeah, no, this is a new day. This is a new era. This is a new era. If it wasn't for Sinn Féin, if it wasn't for Sinn Féin and the dissidents and in these areas like the Bogside, West Belfast, and in Armagh, if it wasn't for them, the Protestants and Catholics we would all be out in the streets. And we do have Catholics coming out. We've got Catholics coming to our bonfires. We've got Catholics who are here. I could bring a guy over here right now. He's got a Celtic top under his trackie. You know what I mean? And that's the way it is now. But you know, they can't. Yeah, of course. It's a new era. Yeah.
Protestants have kids do Catholics and vice versa, like, and what's the word I was looking for there?
Yeah, no, but this is the thing. It is the people who are in charge always causing the problems for the people, and the reason is because it's millionaires and private school boys. The millionaires and private school boys have been running these countries for far too long, and they failed us over and over again. They failed us with the Gulf War. You know, they failed us with the Afghanistani war, all that carry on. They told us that Ukraine were winning. For the last year, they kept going on about Ukraine and we're flying Ukrainian flags as if they're some sort of innocent. And then we find out they're the most corrupt country in Europe, you know. And then we find out when Trump comes in, it was all to do with Biden and Starmer wanting to start a third world war so they can say, oh, we need to clamp down on everybody has to get rationed. We're in wartime, you know what I mean? And plus, when we're in wartime, there's no elections. So that would have given Starmer another 4 years. That's why he was wanting war. That's why we were supporting Ukraine. That's why we sent military weapons fired by our British men. First country ever to do it was a fire into Russia, was Britain. And that was Starmer trying to provoke Russia. So that's the nick of our government. Look what they're doing to England. Look what they've done to the good people of England. Look what they're doing to Glasgow. Look what they're trying to do to Belfast. This is our government. This is a government like your mother and your father. They're meant to look after you. They're meant to take care of you. Make sure you're safe. Hundreds of thousands of children have been raped by rape gangs.
So times are changing.
Yeah.
Our country times are changing.
Yeah.
This country, because the likes of good men like yourself.
Yeah, there's many like me. There's many here like me. Yeah.
This was not quite mainstream media.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
No, of course not. No,
Never would
no,
if it wasn't for people
no.
holding cameras. And I say this man here, look, respect. I've watched a lot of his. I only found out about this guy about 2 months ago. Actually, to be honest with you,
Ah, cheers,
two,
mate.
3 months ago, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've been watching you a lot longer.
I didn't even know that.
Oh,
Like,
it's so good, man.
I've only met him a couple of months, like, and his points, he's bang on. He is
Yeah,
bang on here.
it's no misinformation. It's not far right. It's not racist. It's just loving your country. That's all it is. We just love our country. We are loyalists. We are Republicans. We are Protestants. We are Catholics. We are whatever you want to call us. But the main thing is we've been fighting for our country, for our children, for our people for many years. We've got men have died. We've got men have went to jail, and we will not stop fighting for our country. It's a different war, and I'm telling you guys, you may think this is out there. But please believe me, there's too many fighting age men coming in this country or something else going on. There's no way the government are allowing hundreds of thousands of children. What's happened to them? I'm not going to say the word because it's your channel. I keep forgetting. Hundreds of thousands of children. It's like, would you let somebody into your house and they do something to your kids? Are you going to let anybody else come into your house like that? You're going to shut the door and say, "Nah, fuck that." But yeah, they're just keep coming, keep coming. More children. To this day, we've even got the Sikh community up in arms because they're targeting the Sikh community. And people say, "Oh, you got paedophiles as well." There's white. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Difference between our paedophiles and these headers is they don't care what colour you are. They don't care what religion you are. Our paedophiles, they don't care who you are, what you are. They just see a child. Them guys, it's racially motivated. The Muslims who committed the most crimes against our children, the Pakistani men, it's all fact, it's all not misinformation. They targeted our children, and the crimes that were committed against them children were racially motivated, 110%. That's fact. I've read the manuscripts, and the government still won't admit that. And even when you go on like AI will say, well, it's not racially motivated. And then you ask AI, describe the victims. First word they use is white. So then you say to AI, if it's not really racially motivated, why was the first word you use white English girls? And then AI, who's meant to be the cleverest thing in the world, goes, yeah, freedom, dad, you're right. You know what I mean? So this is how messed up it is. This is how they've even programmed AI to say the things that they want us to believe. But we're, like I keep saying them on my platform, and this isn't about Protestants, but we are clever prods. This is a new era. This is a new day. We are going forward with a lot more intelligence because of Tommy Robinson, because of how they silenced Tommy Robinson, what they've done to Tommy Robinson, and then we see why. We see the outcome of the silencing of one man and the damage it's done to one country. And that's why I'm here doing this. And this is why these guys are here doing this, because of Tommy Robinson and what the government done to him. Simple as that, guys. Simple as that.
Folks, we're for playing Spanish passion, so his passion is hanging right out here.
Cheers, mate.
Please check him out all across all lines,
yeah,
all
yeah.
social media.
Cheers, I appreciate that, mate.
Guy, man. So he has Freedom Dad 73 on YouTube.
Cheers.
If you want to call like the rest of
73 on YouTube, Freedom Dad FD Messenger, Freedom Dad on X. I'm on Rumble, Freedom Dad, and TikTok. Freedom Dad and Freedom Dad New Era. Two on TikTok. You've always got to back yourself up with these because we could get taken down at any time. We are under attack. I'm in the papers. I've been in the papers out of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Non-stop attacks.
Here, another thing here as well. This man is like myself. We do not make money from
nope,
this.
No money.
This man is no source of income.
Buy me a coffee, that's it.
If you're on his channel out there, buy this man a coffee.
Yep.
Help his channel. Help him. The man does not get any sort of income whatsoever.
No on any benefits. So, I don't. Can't get a job because I'm getting threats from everywhere. And yeah, same as yourself. Exactly, same as yourself. You've had a death threat.
Well, you know, death threats. That is what it is. This is the country we live in. But most of us here in Northern Ireland, death threat, like, you know, we think it's a
yeah, bulletproof. We're bulletproof, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a PSNI booklet that will protect me.
Yeah.
So once again, here, check this, guys.
Cheers, thank you, guys.
I'm sure everybody in the chat here will say, keep up the good fight.
Thank you.
And remember, folks, here, this man's doing this for his children.
For my daughter, yep. 9-month-old daughter, yeah.
Yep. Here, folks,
thank you. So, yeah. Cheers, mate. Cheers, buddy. So, no problem, son. So yeah, this will be the interview there, guys. I'll just turn this around so you can see this. All right, mate, what's happening? I'm live. I'm mic'd up. Yeah, when am I getting that interview, mate? Soon. We'll get an interview. The bold pinkies with us, guys. The bold pinkies here. He's camera shy. So yeah, all good. Like I say, got a lot of support from all areas here, and it's we don't throw it out there all the time. These guys don't advertise it. It's just everybody knows 7 o'clock every Friday outside this hotel, and yeah, fair play to them. Fair play to them, guys. It's bringing awareness. It's highlighting it. It's getting people to understand the government and high up in the police that they, because they're paying attention. This road, once this road gets blocked off, that's it. Now they're paying attention, and that's what the general concept of it. Standing about, like even the demos. You know what I mean? I think people even get fed up by demos. I'm talking to people in Northern Ireland about the Tommy Robinson demo, and they're going, "Geez, oh man, it costs a fortune to get there." And then it's costing Tommy hundreds of thousands to organise it, and then it's an amazing demo, and it is an amazing demo, and all the Patriots come together. And then 2-3 weeks, there's a couple of bits on YouTube and a couple of bits on TikTok, and a month later, it's all forgot about. And we haven't made any step forward. We went to a demo, we've stood still, we've all all travelled from all around the place, we've all sung our songs, we've clapped at the speeches, and then we went back home. We haven't went forward, guys. We're not going forward. And I love Tommy, I love Tommy, and I love all the Patriots and all that, but something more needs to be done, Oh, right, okay, let's go.
Mark, can you just check that? My mic's not working, mate. My mic's bollocks.
Okay, so you need a close in.
Yeah, won't even that close to you. I'll be loud.
Okay.
I stick that one on. Just send me it over. Just send it to my normal number, Mark, because you don't need to send it through Steve. You just send it over. Yeah. Get some signs behind us, Rob. We'll get some. No, I just prop it up. Check that for recording. Yeah, well, good. Well, the crowd just keeps getting bigger every single week we come down here. And we even made it onto some radio show yesterday. I don't know who the fella is, some fella from the Shankill called Stephen. Does anyone know who it is? He said he's got the biggest show in the country. Well, I'm going to challenge Stephen Nolan today. Do you know what he said yesterday? He said, these people hide. He says they make speeches and they won't come and put themselves in front of the media. Well, do you know what I want to say to Stephen? Stephen, why don't you come onto our media? The real media. The new media. Because I reckon between me and Maya Tusi and Jeff Taylor and Tommy Robinson and Paul Thorpe, I reckon we could make you the biggest show in the country with 2 million people watching. But there's a serious point about what Stephen Nolan said. And Stephen Nolan was attacking our right to freedom of assembly. We're never going to give that up. He was attacking our right to freedom of speech. We're never going to give up the right to say what we want in this country. And you know, he was a bit like Richard Tice. You're right, never. He was a bit like Richard Tice. And he might as well have said that lot. But what did Stephen Nolan say? He said, these people. You see, Stephen, you have forgotten your roots. You've forgotten where you come from. You need to get back to basics and come and talk to us. Yes. He also accused me of using amplification. Do I ever use amplification? He also accused us of lying. He said that we were saying stuff that wasn't true. And I want to challenge him on this. Because the things he said weren't true. He said that we weren't standing for our wives and our daughters and our women. That is a lie. And I want to give you some facts here. Did you know the vast majority of people coming across on the boats are from Afghanistan? Afghanistan is the home of the Taliban. It is the home of ISIS-K. It is the home of people, 98% of people in Afghanistan want Sharia law. We don't want any Afghanis in this country. And that's not racist. That's not bigoted. That is for the protection of our women. And I'm going to give you another fact, Stephen. Afghan men are 3 times more likely to be convicted of sex offences than British men. We don't want people to come to this country and rape our wives, our daughters, and our granddaughters. Well, I think one of the things that Stephen did say, he talked about men making a stand. Maybe he's been stood up by some men in this country, I don't know. But we will make a stand, because that's what the people of this country do. If you look at the whole of the United Kingdom, you look at England, I'm so proud of my fellow Englishmen. It's pity they're 30 years late in putting the flags up, but they're putting the flags up all over the country. And I'm going to say my mate Andy Saxon's leading the charge. Give our English fellow patriots a massive round of applause. And I also know this crowd. Do you know what's amazing about this crowd? I know this crowd is a mixed crowd. This crowd is not all Protestants. This crowd is not all Catholics. This is all the people of this country, Northern Ireland, the South of Ireland, coming together to fight for our rights. And we know that we're going to get hate. We know Pinky's about here somewhere. Pinky got arrested last week. What did he get arrested for? Pinky got arrested for patriotism. Give them a round of applause. But we're winning. We're winning. We've seen this grow and grow and grow. And I want to think about the people in the south of Ireland, because they're getting even tighter than we are. The things that are going on in the south to silence people are absolutely reprehensible. So we stand with our brothers in the south of Ireland as well. So where did it go from here? What are we achieving? Well, first of all, do you know what the amazing thing about this movement is? Totally peaceful. It's totally peaceful. Nothing's been smashed up apart from Ballymena. Nothing's been smashed up. Only Pinky's been arrested, nobody else. So we are doing it the right way. And I'm going to tell you something. If we keep doing this peacefully, we keep doing this mix, bringing the two communities together, we're going to get rid of the bigots. We're going to get rid of the haters. And love will win in this country. And we're not doing this. We're not doing this because we hate the people in the hotel. I don't know who those people are. As far as I know, they're all women. We've nothing against innocent women and children. We're against government policy. We are dealing with a traitor media, Stephen Nolan, a traitor government, and unfortunately, a police force who's facilitating them. And that's not attacking the rank and file. That's not attacking the rank and file bobbies on the beat. But the people who are running the police in England, in the Republic of Ireland, in Scotland, and in this country, they are completely wrong when they're accusing us of being racist thugs. We're not racist. Some of us might be thugs, but most of us aren't. We're not racist. We are the people. We're going to win. Let's double the numbers next week. See you next week.
All right, guys. So that's Richard Inman. All right, mate. How you doing?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris.
See me on the YouTube.
What's your name?
Chris.
What's your name on YouTube? Right, I'll remember that, mate. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Keep it up, mate.
You want to say a few words while you're here?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, come on, mate. Come on. So what? Yeah, why are you here, mate?
Well, I'm actually in Bangor tonight, but I've seen you on YouTube. I've seen Richard, and I sort of agree with what the movement's about.
Yeah, because we're not racist, we're not far right. You know, it's really important. I can only speak for me, but everybody around me, this man here who's been arrested, that's Pinky, or so it is, that just got shouted out. We are not racist. Yeah, we have shady past, right? We're not perfect. We come from Northern Ireland, you know. And my argument is, it's not going to be the Christians. It's not going to be the people. I'll say that Richard's a Christian, but I'm talking about the people in the church. I'm talking about like It's not going to be angels coming down from heaven to save us. It's only
Only
men.
people.
It is. It's only men who have got shitty past. They know the law. They know the court system, and they're not afraid of prison. Because it's getting to that stage now where we can see what's happening in England with the freedom of speech. Lucy Connolly, for instance, what do you think about that?
That girl should absolutely not be in jail, or she's been released recently here. But
Yes, right.
you know, like for that to happen in this country is a massive. I don't think people realize the impact of what it is for a married mother of kids to go to jail for something that is 100. You know, people are that sort of level of abuse. That's what she said on the internet is happening every single day on the other side.
Well, compared to Ricky Jones,
Exactly. Now, but my view on the Ricky Jones thing, Ricky Jones shouldn't go to jail for that.
I agree with that.
Because once, you know, the danger is the people that want people to go to jail for free speech, they pit people against each other.
I know that, but but like Rambo said, they drew first blood. So we want it to be equal.
The danger is if Ricky Jones goes to jail, everybody clap. That's a great thing. Then it'll be people on the right the next time.
Yeah, 100%.
He absolutely shouldn't go to jail. He should have freedom to talk nonsense.
You've been watching British Slaughter, haven't you?
No, I just it's a trick.
You're bang on.
Yeah.
And this is they're very good at this because they've been doing it a long time.
They pit people against each other. The bottom line
Protestants
is-
and Catholics.
Yeah, my view on it is, like immigrants come to this country is a good thing. Immigrants have brought great benefit to the country. We grew up with people. It was Chinese people, it was Indian people. It was fine. What's happened now is it's too much. Like my analogy I give when I speak to my own kids is, like when I grew up in North Housing Estate, similar to yourself, grew up, got married, we had our own kids. You want to do the best for your family, and occasionally my kids would bring around a youngster and a wee friend that they'd met, and the kid's a bit rough. The kid's a bit, gets into trouble in school. The kid's smoking, trying to drink, and I'm thinking, look, this is a lovely wee child. You're just from a broken home or an issue home. We try to be a good influence on him. So we try to be a good influence on that child, and we take them on holiday. We invite them to dinner. We encourage them with their schoolwork, and our family tries to be a good influence on that child. It's like immigrants coming into the country from dodgy places. If it's a small number, our family, this country can be a good influence on those kids, can help those people that come in. But if my child had brought home 5 kids or 10 kids and they were unruly, like that would just destroy the house. It would just be a nightmare. And what's happening is instead of us being a good influence on the kids, there's too many kids coming in and they're becoming a bad influence on the country, and we're not in a position then to try and help them. The danger becomes the family gets ruined, and as a country we're a family, and what has happened is there's too many coming in, our services can't cope, our people can't cope. Phone the doctors, like I don't know, but you guys, if I phone the doctor,
It's bad.
232 times.
It's horrible, mate. It's horrible. And a lot of people with mental health and a lot of people with underlying issues, like they just don't want to do it. They don't want to phone the doctors, and they're just dying because they're not good. And I'm one of them guys that's can't be asked. Something's not right, but I can't be. I haven't got the patience. You know what I mean? And
I do too. Like I just don't phone the doctors anymore. But the danger is the cult. And here's the other thing I was thinking. And this is the only thing that matters. And people need to check this for themselves. If it is, the statistics show the birth rate of the normal Indigenous population of the UK and Ireland, and I'm so chuffed that the people in the Republic of Ireland and the people in Northern Ireland are getting together, Ulster flags and tricolours flying together. Again, I grew up in a housing estate like you, amazing to see it. But if the people in the north and south of Ireland and the UK, if the Indigenous Christian white population, it's not racist,
of course,
but if the Indigenous historical population is going to be replaced in 20 or 30 years, that's the only statistic we need to be talking about. Nothing else matters.
Exactly, that's what I keep saying.
Addressed.
Exactly.
It's going to be in 20, 30 years that, as I said before, our family who tries to be a good influence on people coming in, if that family is going to be a minority, it's gone. The UK is gone. Ireland's gone.
And that's the thing. We can fix this. We can change the death. There's more people dying than there has been born right now. We can fix that. We can fix the white people aren't having children. Exactly. They can't afford it. The two can't.
Exactly. And if the government's saying the birth rate, so the government's not saying anything. If their argument was, we're not having kids, we need people to come in, like encourage families to have more children.
Exactly.
Provide situations that women don't have to work and slave. They can stay at home for a wee while longer, look after kids, instead of this, get out to work, and we don't have enough people, so we're bringing people in.
So how come we know the solutions? We know the answers. We know how to fix our country. How can't the government do it?
Look, I'm at the point now, and I believe lots of people in our nation are at the point now where it's beyond incompetence. What the government's doing, it can't, like we all say, government doesn't know what they're doing. It's getting beyond incompetence. It must be a plan. The replacement or the destabilization of the Western nations. It has to be a plan now. I'm at the point now where I think, yeah, I think that has to be the case. No government, Keir Starmer and what's going on there, it cannot be that incompetent. It can't. Keir Starmer and the authorities in London must see what's happening in these communities. They must see it.
Oh, they do.
And if they do see it, and they're not taking any action to stop it,
Well, they've seen the hundreds of thousands of children that were abused by the rape gangs, the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs. So they've seen that, and they're still letting them in.
yeah. If you look, hey, Tommy Robinson, like I was like everybody else, you look at Tommy Robinson, I've been watching him now for maybe 10, 12 years, football hooligan, Millwall supporter, blah, 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 just another English guy beating people. When you take a wee bit of time, you look into it and you go, actually, that guy's probably all right. And the longer you watch it, he's been persecuted. And it seems to be the case that everybody stands up and says, you know what, what's going on? This doesn't seem right. Like, I ex-soldier, fathers, generations fought for this country. Yeah. And to get to the point now where you're thinking, where's the country going? Yeah. It has to come a point when you go, like, we can't be a good influence on immigrants coming in. Yeah. If we're overflowing, we cannot help people. Yeah. My analogy a minute ago.
We can't help ourselves. Well, they are getting priority.
My analogy was, I created a wee family. It was myself, my wife, my 2 or 3 kids, and other kids come in maybe from a broken home or a difficult home, housing estate home like I came from. Yeah. You can help them. You can encourage them. Those kids can grow up and have a good life. When you have too many people coming in, not as a family but as a nation, if there's too many people coming in, we cannot be good for them. We cannot help them. Yeah. If there's too much trouble, and the crime statistics, the difficulty that women are going through, and what's happening here is just getting too much. Yeah.
Everything's full. Our NHS, mental health, prisons, everything. Drug services is all full.
As a Christian like him, Richard, there comes a point where you cannot. You should always be given. And no one's saying don't do that anymore. Yeah. But if it gets to the point where you're unable to breathe, you cannot, there comes a point where your effectiveness to be able to help others doesn't work anymore. We're definitely getting to that.
Are you worried, just as a mother, a father, and a man who pays his taxes and everything, are you worried of what might happen if we get a Southport or even another Ballymena? Like victims of abuse?
It's a strange one. Yeah. My thoughts on Ballymena are violence is definitely not the way to go. Yeah. The guys in Ballymena getting ran, it's definitely not the way to go.
Yeah, we lose the argument.
But the problem sorted. Yeah. Yeah. The immigrants that come in, the criminal immigrants that came in that affected that community aren't there anymore. The Ballymena was a failure of the state to deal with the problem. And I've seen Richard's follow-up, and it's important to follow-ups about how there's so many young men in Ballymena who were immediately remanded. Yep. They've increased the sentence to say it was racially motivated. Yep. They're throwing the book at them.
Of course, yeah. That's like Southport.
Which to me, it was a failure of the authorities to deal with the problem that had developed in Ballymena.
Yeah. It just made more people angry.
And what happens is the community blows up, and then the community is worse than the world. Yeah. You're all racist in Ballymena. It's nonsense. Ballymena suffered. Ballymena's dealt with their issue, and I think if the authorities don't step in, there's going to be Ballymenas all over the place. I don't want it. It's not the right thing. It's not the right way to do it. That's why we have society. That's why societies join together. They employ police forces to keep the peace, to stop people from taking the law in their own hands. Yeah. What happened to Ballymena was that not so much the police, but the politicians and authorities did not deal with the problem.
Didn't listen to the people.
And ultimately the people blew. You know what I mean? When your daughters get attacked, what's a man supposed to do? And that's what happened. I think if this continues, if these boats keep coming in, if there's not a control on immigration, and like they think that there's unvetted guys, even if it's 1 in 500, 1 in 100, 1 in 500 that are rapists or child molesters, like it's a crazy number. Yeah.
And it's 50 out of Afghanistanis is 50 out of every 10,000, I think, which is a big number.
If you look at the statistics of the likelihood of criminal activity based on nationality of immigrants coming in, it's mental.
It is crazy, it is.
But it's under the carpet.
Yeah, and they're still allowed to come in.
And ultimately, the what's going to happen is the Ballymena is going to happen all over the place. People will reach their limit. People will reach their limit.
I can see that. I can feel that.
And I think, it's getting to the point now where if it doesn't stop, it's not a stop. I'm not saying stop bringing immigration, stop immigration altogether, but stop this unvetted, uncontrolled, unmanaged. It's madness. It's madness. And if the government doesn't stop it, Ballymena will happen. It'll happen in England. It'll happen in Wales. It'll happen down south. And it's going to. And this is something I want to say. This country has benefited from so many immigrants coming in from so many different countries, and 95% of them are brilliant people. They're hardworking. They want to do work. They come over, and a lot of them's hard work, more hardworking than some of our people. Those people are going to get victimised and caught up because the general population can't tell the difference between the guy that's been here for 20 years and the guy that's been here for 6 months who's raping kids. And that's to me, that's the government's fault.
Of course,
The government's job is to keep the peace that doesn't happen. It's not an excuse, but I don't want to see ordinary immigrants, people from India, people from Pakistan, people who are getting affected by the population turning against people that are just in 5 minutes and they're causing mayhem.
So, are you, as a father, are you worried of what the future holds for when you're not here for your children?
Do you know what? I haven't been. For the last number of years, I haven't been. Coming now, I'm thinking more and more about it. I'm thinking, my grandkids now, you know, like.
Can you see a fight in them like we have? This is what I always see with our kids. I would say,
The problem is, it's come to the point to have to react.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the other thing about this nation. Our nation's centuries and centuries and centuries old. What we have was built over centuries. It was paid in blood by our fathers and our forefathers. Like, when my great-grandfather went out at 14, lied about his age, went out at 14 to fight in the First World War, and then again the Second World War, for his family, for his wife, for his children, his children's children. Did he think that it was going to be like this? You know,
we never seen this coming, did we?
no,
We were too caught up with each other, Catholics and Protestants, and all the troubles.
I think, and I hope that the whole Catholic Protestant unionization is over. It's over, and the politicians still think that's the case. And like orange and green, it's over. You know, it's being usurped by a greater problem. The culture is being changed, and if you value the culture that we have in the UK and Ireland now, we need to get a grip on it. You know, I liken the Protestant Catholic, the two brothers fighting over the house. Now if somebody else wants to take over the house altogether.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good analogy of it.
And that's you know, maybe they don't realise it now, but over the next number of months and years, absolutely they will. You know, the DUP Sinn Féin thing, it's gone. Like that's over. I think we need to be more concerned about this next generation and the generation after that. And it's not going to be two brothers fighting over the same house. It's going to be somebody else, a different culture, a different entity, a different way of life. Maybe some of it's going to be better, but nobody voted for it. And you need to be careful that it doesn't get out of hand. And I think violence isn't the answer. Absolutely not. The Christian way of dealing with it, but that also means valuing what you have. Also means valuing the culture we have. And to this point, you know, I think look at I come down Bangor regularly. The numbers are increasing on these protests. They are increasing all over England. More people are waking up. 10 years ago, Tommy Robinson was a scumbag. Nobody wanted to.
That's correct.
Now people like Tommy Robinson is a statesman.
He should be getting the keys to London.
100%. Tommy Robinson should be the. You know, and again, the guy's all right. The guy's all right. And if you're watching this now and you think, no, do a bit of research.
Yeah, that's what I say. Exactly what I say. But listen, I'm gonna speak to a few people, wrap this live up. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Brilliant, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. You take care of yourself, right? Yes, definitely. He's coming back. He's coming back. A couple of weeks. Yeah, no problem. Let's wrap this up. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and do a wee bit of networking, speak to a few guys and girls, and get some information, what's going on in the world, you know what I mean? So I can bring you content. So I'm not going live tonight, too tired, guys. You can forgive me. I will come live tomorrow, and I will be live tomorrow night to recap and everything that's happened tomorrow, God willing. You know, God willing. So yeah, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you. My camera girl was away chatting up the boys. So yeah, guys, as always, Freedom Dad in Bangor, outside the Marina Court Hotel. God bless every single one of you.